Indeed, it really means a lot. Like, glad that we met like few years back, and then here we are. Like, I always see you as an inspiration. Like, you have been inspiring thousands out there, and thank you for this opportunity. And hey, guys, so I'll get started, and then let me share my screen, and please let me know. Like, feel free to stop me at any point if you have any question. Not hesitate. So just stop me at any point.
Absolutely. And Sai is going to actually share the screen for a brief period just to make sure that there is a bit of visual that supports his journey. But like we always do, keep sharing your questions in the chat box. And after that, once he goes off slide, then he's going to be taking the entire screen, being answering those questions. I want all of us to kind of ask all possible things that we don't know what happens and feels like, right? So please be very generous with asking questions. Okay, go ahead, Sai.
Perfect. So, hey everyone, I'm Sai Baisani. I currently contribute to analytics at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and prior to that, I worked as a data scientist at Lego. And in the next few minutes, I'll be walking you through how I built personal brand that led to over 175,000 followers on LinkedIn, speaking invites, collaborations, and all while working full time. It can be exhausting. I understand. I've been there, felt that, and then but I've found systems that have incorporated and then saved me a lot of time in being consistently and have pretty good work-life balance. That's all we all hope for at the end of the day. So first thing, why I started creating content creation or on LinkedIn. So first thing is building visibility. So in the early career, I realized it's not just about what you know, but who you know matters and who knows you matter. So your network matters. That's one of the things that I've always wanted to build, like visibility. So we all need personal brand at least in 2025, where AI can do the coding, if not production level coding, but at least it's getting there. So we all need to have the human in loop, and then people need to know what we know. And second thing is sharing knowledge. So I wanted people to know what I knew, because even if a person can build chat gpt from scratch, and if the world doesn't know that he or she can build the gpt from scratch, it might not be of no use. So I wanted to share knowledge, and which also comes down to giving back to data community. It helps building in my visibility, and people would know what I know, and also it also helps someone breaking into data analytics or data science career. So, and because and a lot of people did guide me through my journey, be it in terms of free mentorship or paid mentorship. I had a lot of mentors. I still have a lot of mentors. So I still connect with a lot of them on weekly basis and monthly basis. So the community that we have in data science, yeah, I think no other industry or field has this kind of community, where there are a lot of amazing experts who always want to give back data community, conduct speaking sessions or webinars, events like we have right now. I don't think any other community apart from data has this opportunities, or like evergreen opportunities. And last but not least, create security. So no job is truly safe. Everything can change overnight. We have been seeing layoffs from at past 3 years, I would say, with from top tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, even being C-suite. You're not Your job might not be safe. Like, everything can change overnight. And then we have seen Microsoft laid off 6,000 employees a few months back, and there were a lot of managers and directors involved. So even starting from entry level at intern or be director or VP, our jobs might not be safe. So security is also important for our jobs. So these are few reasons that I wanted to create content on LinkedIn and build my personal brand. So I always have a plan B or plan C if something were to go wrong. So to start with some numbers, here is my growth timeline. So I've started creating content around September 2023, I would say. It's been almost 18 to 20 months since I've started creating content. The first few months were really rough. Like, if you see, it took me around 7 months to go to 25K from 2K. And then from there, I started creating systems, which I'll be sharing in the next few further slides, and then which helped me grow exponentially. Like, from 25 to 100K, it took me only 8 months. And then in December 2024, I think it was on Christmas Day. So I was at 100K on Christmas, and then it took me another 5 months to just reach to 170K. So I had 170K in May 2025, I think a few days back, probably 2 weeks back. So it took me only 5 months from 100K to 170K. So I think we all would have heard of it. We just have to get started and then be consistent. But what does getting started mean? What does being consistent mean? How much time do we have to spend? Do we have to spend all week, or is it only weekend, or is it only weekdays? So I'll be diving deeper into every section of my journey, what has helped me, what did not help me. So you can, I hope this helps at least one of you. But let's get into depth of it right now. So what accelerated my growth? First phase until 25K, where I was getting started, I was unorganized, and then I used to only post 2 to 3 times a week. I did not engage with many creators back then, or many posts back then, and I did not uh, connect with a lot of creators, as I mentioned. So it took me a lot of time where I didn't have any system. I used to, like, say if I were to post tomorrow, I would sit for an hour or two today and then write content and then schedule it, or wake up tomorrow and then before I leave to office, I make a post and then I would leave. So a lot of things were unorganized, unstructured, and then wasn't consistent in engagement or connecting with new people. But what changed in phase two? So when I reached A, so I wanted everything to change because I was spending at least 2 hours every day on writing a post, or one to 2 hours every day to write a post for the next day. But then wanted that to change. I wanted to have the time back so I could upskill, or maybe cook or talk with parents or watch a movie or whatever it is in terms of personal professional life. So I wanted that time. So that's when I started being consistent. So uh, what happened in exponential growth was I started posting 5 to 7 posts a week, and then in phase one I used to only post text post. But then when I was at 25K, I figured out that there are a lot more posts that you can explore: text plus photo, text plus infographic, text plus carousel, text plus video. We all have seen how videos have been going viral on LinkedIn in past few months, I would say. So they have been pushing it a lot. And as I mentioned, I wasn't engaging with a lot of creators back then, but I wanted to make more connections and then meet more people, get more engagement, and give more engagement. So started commenting on people that I admired, people that my inspired to become. So I found those people on data science field, like Aishwarya, Zach, or like whatever, like all these people in data science, engineering, AI. So found their profile, started engaging with their content. And fun fact, the most, I mean, the honest connections that I've made and then the beautiful relationships that I've made are from comment section more than my DMs. So that's where I met Vidhi, and then here we are, all of us are on a coffee chat on a Saturday. So the comments is the place where I have made more connections than my DMs, I would say. At least the best connections that I've made are in the comments. And as I mentioned, I wanted that time back. I built some systematic content creation, which I'll be diving into deeper. And I have collaborated with a lot of creators, leaders in the industry in the topics on data analytics, data science, breaking in, interview prep, or some advanced webinars and events with other creators. And I started getting invites from podcasters. So I have been featured on at least 20 podcasts, and I have one recording tomorrow. And I have spoken at multiple conferences, and I'll be speaking at University of California this October, and Unshackled conference in August. So I'll be speaking at two of the conferences in next 3 months. So all these things, when you start putting yourself out there, when you come out of your comfort zone, and then have built systems, organized, structured, you would get your time back, and then your work would be more effective than you think. So one thing that I've learned is being consistent. Again, consistent meaning will be getting there, and trying out different things like A/B testing and different hooks. All these things have really helped me in growing from uh, having an exponential growth. So one thing that's game changer is carousels and infographics, which I'll be diving deeper now. So what are some elements of successful content? First is save-worthy and shareable. The content we share needs to be something that's shareable or savable to reach it to more people. So before I make any post, I started to think, would I save this post? Would I share this post to someone else, or would I share this post to myself, or save it somewhere so I could look back it later on, or look at it right now and then would I come back to it? So that's a question I ask at least for most of my post. Is it savable or is it shareable? And time spent per post. So this is one of the key metrics for the algorithm. So the more time the audience spend on your post, the more viral it goes, or the more the algorithm pushes it to further feeds. So when you use a video, the audience tend to spend more time on your post. That's why the algorithm pushes further. And same with carousels. So carousels, you will have at least 10 pages, 15 pages of content when you are explaining a topic in depth. So the audience tend to scroll till 10th page at least, and then the time spent per post increases. And then since it's a carousel, you're giving lot more value than a text post. People tend to save it so they can come back to it later on and then go through it. So time spent per post is something very important, and that's one of the key metrics for algorithm to push it to further feeds. And the hook power. So we all know our attention span is very less, probably in milliseconds or few seconds. So your first 1 to 3 lines do matter. So I've created few hook templates for you, so which I'll be sharing at the end. So stay tuned. So hooks do matter. So your first 1 to 3 lines can make or break your post. So that's something that I've learned it the hard way. And early engagement. So for the first at least 20 to 30 minutes, make sure to respond to comments within first hour, I would say. But we all know we got a work too. So depending on how much time you have, or maybe find the time that you have that you are free, and try to respond to early comments. And one thing that I've learned the hard way is adding a pinned comment. While LinkedIn doesn't give us an option to pin a comment, so what I usually do is I add an emoji before the comment that has pin emoji, and then that way audience would understand that the that Sai wants this comment to be pinned. So adding a pinned comment, and at the end I asking a question or making a statement or a motivation, so people tend to like that, and people tend to reply to that comment, which helps in further pushing the post into further feeds. And quality conversation, it's not just about making a comment, it's also about how thoughtful the comment is, how engaging the comment is. Like comments are more visible than your post, because a person who's not posting, and while he or she is making amazing comments, amazing conversations in the comment section, might have a better network than a person who's just posting and not making quality comments. So the way we comment, what we comment, how we comment, these all things do matter, and that's what we might get in return to. So the number of words in the comments do matter while we comment, and the comments we receive. So the more conversations happen in the comment section, that's when the post will be pushed to hundreds, thousands, or hundreds of thousands of feeds. So quality conversations matters more than quantity in terms of comments. And repost. So we all know reposts do matter. So as I mentioned, we need to create content that's something share worthy or save worthy. And all these things are like metrics. And coming to storytelling, non-technical ones, storytelling matters. We want our audience to know us at personal level, what we've been through, what are our success stories, what are our failure stories. That's when the real personal brands starts building. So like, do not hesitate to share your successes, failures, what has helped you the most, what did not help you the most, how have you overcome, like what have been your learnings, people that you have met, like you have gone on networking call, share with them, you have gone to conference. So never hide anything unless you have signed an NDA or anything. So make sure to share your story, let your audience connect you at personal level. And we all love humor. So once in a while, I also make some humor post on LinkedIn. So that's like, we shouldn't underestimate the power of making people smile. So we all want to smile, like we all need to have a healthy lifestyle. So LinkedIn is also a place for professional post, but once in a while, and humor post will also connect you. Humor technical post is what I would say. So technical memes. So I make some technical memes once in a while, and then audience connect to us very nicely, and then they make few comments. So you build your network in the comment section again with the humor. So that's when you would know people uh, more deeply. And coming to the important part, how I plan my content calendar. So that's something that I've learned the hard way. Instead posting randomly, so having a content calendar. While I don't follow it perfectly 100%, but all my posts come under these 5 areas. So job search, data analytics, data science, personal stories, content about content creation, and then motivation or growth lessons that have helped me in my career to grow. So these are the 5 things that I've figured out what my niche are. So I'll be giving you a few tips on how you can find yours if you currently do not have one, or if you're finding in difficulty of in finding a niche. So stay tuned on that. So these are few things that how I plan my content calendar. So I make sure to post only in this five. So unless if a brand wants to me to go out of this, and if it aligns with my values and my mission, I wouldn't go out of this five. So all my posts come under these five umbrellas. And I follow a system. So I rotate across these five to content brackets. For a week, there might be more. It might be biased towards data science. A week might be biased towards personal stories. A week might be biased towards job search tips. But an perfect or an optimized way would be to choose one per day. And if that sometimes we might be out of content, it's always okay to repurpose your content by changing a hook or adding more value to it. But having a structured, coming up with four to five content brackets, having a Notion or Google Doc, Google Sheet would help you in maintaining your content and then plan it accordingly. So more on that later. So as I mentioned, I was unorganized and unstructured when I started, but what helped me was in getting my time back is capture ideas. So whenever I get ideas, so I write down in my Notion doc or my WhatsApp group that I have with myself. So I wrote down ideas during weekdays, but then I stopped writing content on weekdays. So and during the weekdays, I write all the ideas as I mentioned in Notion, Google Doc, or WhatsApp, and then during the weekend, I dedicate few hours continuously. Like it can be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So depending on the type of post, if it's carousel, if I have to edit, or if it's a video that I have to edit, or if it's a infographic that I have to make. So weekend is for content creation. There's no creation on weekdays. It's only to capture ideas. And weekend, I sit for a few hours straight, or here and there, depending on my calendar. Again, if I'm traveling for a conference or a vacation, so I make sure to complete everything over weekend. And then on the weekdays, the only thing I do is to engage with people, engage with people that have commented on my post, and chat in the DMs or build my network. So, but content creation, I do not create any content on weekdays. And obviously, once I can transform ideas to actual posts, the natural step is to create a carousel or visuals that enhance the post. So as I mentioned, carousels are game changing. People tend to save it because we give a lot of value in carousel. There's a lot of value packed content there. Same with visuals. So visuals are still game changing, like infographics, sharing roadmaps or cheat sheets, or that's gonna be in your niche. So and then I go on to designing. And as I mentioned, when I started out, I used it to make a post and then leave to my work. And then I installed a Chrome extension, which would schedule my post. Again, LinkedIn doesn't give us many features to schedule a post, so we need to find a third-party tool or a different way to schedule our content. More on that, like I've created a slide just for that. So here comes the essential content creation tools that I use on daily basis or weekly basis. First thing is Canva or Figma for carousels and infographics. So I'll be sharing few posts on that too, which one that have used Canva and then Figma, and then Beautify post for text formatting. So LinkedIn doesn't give us to option to bold or underline the text, whereas we might need that to capture audience's attention. So we need to bold few words or underline few words. So that's where Beautify post Chrome extension comes into play. And Snapify or Carbon for code snippets. We are in data space, so we do a lot of code, and we all know readability matters, documentation, commenting matters. That's where this tool comes in. So when you paste a code into those tools, it would convert it to a nice, beautiful code snippets with comments and make it readable so audience can understand it very easily, which would also help us in getting more repost, more comments, more saves, which would make the post viral. And for content resistance, so I use ChatGPT or Claude for hooks, which I'll be sharing few templates that I've come across and that I've been using from past 2 years. And then we use it to use Grammarly for grammar check. But right now, ChatGPT or Claude does a good work on grammar check too, so I use those for grammar check too. And Clio for analytics tracking. Again, LinkedIn might not, LinkedIn only give a small chunk of our analytics. being a data person, I'm always curious about what's working, what's not working. So I always use Clio for analytics tracking. And last but not least, and Notion or Google Tracks for organizing ideas. So Notion doc with me and my editor. So whatever content with, I give it, I add it on Notion doc, and he takes care of editing part. I let the creative people take the creative work and come up with ideas, and then content. He takes care of editing part like infographics or a video. And distribution tools. So Loom for screen recording whenever I have to, whenever I want to explain a tool or recording a project, when I'm doing a project and then I want to share it with my audience, that's where Loom comes into play. So it's very good for screen recording. So it also has some AI capabilities. You can edit yourself without having any editing knowledge. So that's a very good tool. So, and Card for quick landing pages. Recently, I've started a series, so I have had to create a few quick landing page. But I'm not a computer science student, so I do not have any knowledge on HTML or CSS. So that's where Card comes into play. So it's very simple. It's drag and drop. Like I was able to create a website and publish it in, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes. So it was quick. So, and Email Octopus for automations of email. So whenever you want to send a, when you want to start a 5-day email series or 10-day emails, and then you have a newsletter. So that's where Email Octopus comes into play. So you can send newsletters and then automate everything based on triggers, timing, and whatnot. Like there are amazing features. So there are better options than Email Octopus like ConvertKit and Behave, but I use Email Octopus for the for automations of my emails, because I've started my newsletter a few months back called Data Hustle. So it's been 3 months since I've started. I've grown to 13,000 subscribers there. So it's been going great too. So emails are something that I would really recommend. I have a regret of not starting it earlier, but if you have time, and if you really have more content to share, if you want to put all your knowledge in one newsletter, and then I would highly recommend you to start a newsletter. So that's one of the best things to have seen people who have sold their newsletters for millions of dollars and then exited. So you build a subscriber base of 100K, 200K, half million, and then you get acquired, you get half million, $1 million. I've seen people doing that. So emails are something that's very valuable, I would say gold mine. So I would highly recommend starting a newsletter if you have the time, expertise, knowledge. I'm sure all of us here all do have that. So again, it comes down to scheduling, being consistent. So same thing, I come up with ideas on weekdays, and during the weekend I write one email, schedule it for the Wednesday 12 o'clock. So every Wednesday 12 o'clock in the Eastern time, a newsletter goes out from my channel. So here comes the tricky part, I would say, finding your content niche. How do you find your niche? So I've gotten a lot of questions during this past years from hundreds of people over DMs. So first thing I would say is reflect on your own journey. What have you struggled with? What have you learned deeply, or what are you expert in? What is your experience in? What do people ask you about most common in your DMs? And what do you enjoy discussing? That's the most important part. You need to enjoy what you're doing, be it in terms of doing a coffee chat like this, or a podcast, or a webinar, or an event, or is it just an in-person meeting? So it might not be valuable if you're not enjoying. So we need to enjoy what you're doing. So make sure to reflect on your own journey. Come up with these few things. What have you struggled? What have you learned? What do people ask you mostly in DMs or in comments, or from your relatives or family or friends? And what do you enjoy discussing? Last but not least, and then try out this exercise. List 5 challenges, note 5 things that people ask your help with, identify 5 topics that you never tire discussing. Here you have around 15 pieces of content, which you can convert it to 60 posts. So you're set for at least few months if you try this exercise out. So that's how you can come up with ideas. Or if you have seen a post on your feed that you can write in a better way, or if that's misleading, where you can write in a correct way. So that's how you get your ideas. So try out this exercise, and then it's game changing. And start posting. Just hit that post button. So it's just matter of time and consistency. So within few months, you will be growing exponentially, where you would think that it wouldn't have been possible if you hadn't started a few months back. So a lot of people do stuck at this point. We all know we need to be proactive and then start posting to build a personal brand and visibility. So just hit that post button, and after few posts or few weeks or few months, a theme will emerge, and the audience will tell your niche. Sometimes like, it's not the other way around. So you would see in comment section, can you write a post on this? Can you deep dive into this concept? Or can you tell me what has helped you the most in your journey? Or what has been your biggest failure and what have you learned from it? Your comments will tell you what your niche might be. So based on that, you can decide if it's your niche or not, or you can have multiple umbrellas and then you can uh, choose and post. So as I mentioned, content creation can be overwhelming. You're not alone. So we have good community here, so you never feel alone. So there are a lot of content creators out there. Connect with them again personally. Ask them what worked, what did not work. That's what I have done. I have connected with amazing creators like Zach, Aishwarya, Megan, Jess, who have been creating content from almost 5 to 7 years. So they have been creating amazing content, so I admire and inspire them. I mean, they're my inspiration too. So connected with them, learned what worked, what did not work, and learned it the best way. So learn from the best. So when I started, like always, I have thought like I do not have time to post because I spend an hour or two every day on posting. What to write about? So we have seen on that, like how to come up with ideas. I'm not a good writer. No one is perfect. We all learn through the way. So when I started, I was not a good writer, but as I started writing, I understood what's working, what is not working, and then every post got better. You would find mistakes and you would learn. That's how we all that's what we have done in our careers too. We have made mistakes, we learned it the hard way, and then right now we are in a good position. So we all start small and then we try to aim big, and then with time it's gonna change. Nobody will read my post. That's something that always a first time creator or first time a person who's posting for the first time will have in their mind. What if nobody reads my post? And that's completely fine. So it doesn't matter. So you just have to keep showing up and be consistent, and people will start reading your post before you realize. It's just matter of time. So here are truths that I have learned. You don't need 3 hours a day. You just need a 3 hours on weekend with a system. So have those ideas organized or store it in a place, and then work on to spend few hours on a weekend, come up with ideas, convert them into post, then to a carousel or an image or a cheat sheet or an infographic or a video. So you need few hours on a weekend to come up with a system. So you have your time back during weekdays. You don't need to be a good writer, as I mentioned. You just need to be helpful, clear, and human. And in 2025, being human sets you apart. So maybe few years down the line, it was the other way, but right now we need to have human in loop to stand out. And you don't need a big audience to start. We want to build an audience by starting. So one mindset shift that all the creators out there who want to start creating content should have. So you build an audience by starting out. So make sure to hit that post button, just get started. And you don't need to go viral every time. You just need to be visible and valuable. Not all of our posts might go viral. Only few of the posts go viral, and that's completely fine. So we want to be visible, valuable, and hope our audience learn from something from us, and then we build our network, and then we all have we all do admire few people. We all do get inspired from a few people. So that's our target place. So we want to be visible and valuable. And a few viral hooks that really grab the audience attention. So here's the template on the left side: clear promise, scenario, transformation, and the next part is time-based authority, and then identify driven specificity. So target who exactly needs your content. So these viral hooks will really be game changing. So I would share this template in our community, and then you can give it a try. So I've built this. You can fill in your boxes here. So here's exactly how we are gonna do a project if you want to achieve a job. Or it took me 6 months to learn this, but I'll teach you in 60 seconds. So yeah, if you see, like, there are all these things are combination of promise, transformation, time based. So you're giving it with proof, and then it grabs audience attention, which makes them tap on see more, and that's a signal for algorithm that there's something valuable in this post that audience wants to read, and then it pushes it further. So as humans, our attention span is very less, so we want to make sure that we grab their attention even though our content might be amazing. So the quality of our content is very good, we all know that, but if the audience are not seeing that, we might not get the motivation to post, and the audience might not get value out of it because very few people are seeing it. That's where the hook comes in. So the content needs to reach more people. Of course, we do not want to fake this, but make sure that the numbers are realistic. You have been there, done that, so have solid proof of that, and try out these different hooks, that templates. You can again use AI to come up with to fill in the brackets. So you have your new best friend. So that's something that I would highly recommend. So again, value over virality is what I would say. So like I have been rejected thousands of times, but built a community of 170,000 followers through consistent value. And then one post is all it takes to be seen by the right person. We do not want 100 jobs, or we do not want thousands of opportunities. We might need only few opportunities. So every opportunity comes because someone found my content. So being featured on Times Square or NBC or Fox or any other article, it's because someone found my content at the right time. Timing sometimes do have a factor of a coefficient, I would say. And nobody discuss when you're silent, so do not wait to be perfect. So just get started, just start posting, share your knowledge, share your expertise is what I would say. And then within matter of time and within, so we need to do a lot of A/B testing with hooks, and then different type of formats, carousels, infographics, videos. And then with time you would know your audience, and you would know what's working, what's not working, and then you just replicate it and then do it over and over and over and again, and just show up with value consistently. That's what compounds. So I remember reading the book called Compounding Effects. So I believe it a lot. So because it took me around 8 months to get to 25K and another 12 months to get to another 150K. So it's the compounding effect. So at start it.
Is it the internet at my side?
I think it's
No, he's frozen. Yeah.
That's frozen.
But we had a good conversation so far. So I think Saif, he might not be even able to hear us. So I'm going to drop him a note. But we have questions already in the chat box. We have more coming because I just quickly want to take this time and see if we can collate those as well. Yeah, I'm going to drop.
I had a couple of questions. I'll verbally ask him.
Okay. So till that I'm Sai's back, because I don't think even if I'm going to text him, he would be able to respond in time. He would be still juggling to just make sure he comes back online. So I'm not going to pester him during that time. I just want to quickly, raise a point that some people do tell me is that you want to build a name for yourself because, again, like that's an insurance. I read it somewhere already. Like it's something that you do for a future self. Like you're doing a good part, like you're having that seeding done today. But in order for me to do that, I'm again spending that time which I could have spent otherwise somewhere. It's a weekend. We all are spending that 1 hour here today, which we could have spent maybe with our families and with something else, like just doing anything. So what makes, what is your opinion on this? What makes you feel, coming here, spending time, and then what is your takeaway? And how do you see that personal brand that you're making for yourself? What is your motivation to do that? Shashank, go ahead. I could see that coming.
Yeah. So last time I tried doing this content thing and it did not work and it was not working. But this time with the support of because I already want to have a brand for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I'm a brand or something, but for posting for past 20 days, a lot of people in office approaching me, even senior level people, and what keeps you busy these days? So they keep on asking me this question, and they come to me and they just want to talk about things and all the so I'm not famous, but yeah, this is the visibility that I see that so whenever I'm at a lunch or taking, oh yeah, I saw your post, it was nice. So just like a feedback coming in, that's a motivating factor. So yeah, I think I'm gonna follow Ankit's and try to keep this streak for indefinite time after 21 days. But let's see if I'm able to do, or at least weekly thrice or something. So yeah, this is
Hey,
really